Yeah, so we're all happy. It's all positive vibes. Yeah. You're a little bit concerned about the length of it, but it makes sense. Pause. Not your first time.
That's what she said.
You just got to spit on it.
It wasn't a concern.
I didn't mean that, Jack.
I just wanted to look at the average length of other people's contracts to see how I was stacking up. It wasn't a concern. Again, it was good due diligence, Joe. You know what? We are within a fraction of 1% of the lower end of the average range, and that's fine.
Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. This is Off the Bar. Joining me are some absolute titans in the Manchester United fan base. I've got Mr. Stephen Howson.
Oh.
You all right? Fresh from your travels at the Euros and doing stuff with Vibe with Five and all that. All
Saw Ed Sheeran on Sunday.
How was it?
It was good people.
Yeah.
Good lad he is.
Yeah, he's a good lad.
Good.
You
Paid the bill on the way. Paid the bill on the way out. It was like 25. I was drinking.
Did you get a few beers out of him then?
Yeah, I guess we did. Yeah, rum and cokes.
It's not a bad way to spend your weekend, is
He
it?
can't let anyone else pay the fucking bill, though.
Why not?
Because he's the most successful British pop star in history.
Mate, he's one of the most successful YouTubers.
That's true.
So
and Rio was there.
And Rio's there. So why should he pay the bill just because he's got more money? They've got money. It's not how it works.
I like that though, because normally rich people kind of just like think it's looked after and leave.
Well, Rio,
you know what I mean?
We was leaving, and Rio goes, "Can get the bill?" And he's like, "Put it on my room." And I'm like, absolutely.
I would be going back all day.
Can we get some takeaways?
The guy comes over and he's
champagne.
like, Ed paid it before he left.
Ed paid it before he left. Also joining me is Mr. Joe Smith.
You right?
How have you been?
I haven't been partying with any pop.
Cantaloupe drinking.
I drank a cantaloupe
soybean,
and I did it abseil since we've last been on.
Yeah, you kept that to yourself. You're abseiling down the Trafford Centre.
Just a bit, mate.
Yeah?
Just a little
For charity?
For Chazza.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What charity?
Francis House Children's Hospice. Try having a knock on that. It's a world-class
Give me 20 minutes.
Look at me, I'll worry about
We don't need your workshop money. We can look after our own.
You're not in
the children's charities? Savile.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. No, we're not going to be now. We don't edit this podcast, yeah.
Just factual. I'm not accusing you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Jimmy Savile, Adam McCall.
Hang on a minute. Who's doing intros? I'm doing intros. And also, you can't compare him to Jimmy Savile. There's lots of differences.
Yeah.
Yes, also joining us.
You ain't got a Rolls Royce.
Fresh from his stint on Filthy Fellas is my good friend Adam McCall.
Yes.
How are we?
I'm all right, thanks. Got pins and needles in both my hands. It's a bit weird.
In your
I've heard if
that's definitely nothing.
You lick your nails.
No, you'll be fine. I
lick your nails, it disappears.
Your chest will start hurting in a bit as well. You'll get a bit of that, and your left arm will go numb. Don't worry, it's fine.
For the people that made it this far, Jay, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about Erik Ten Hag. He's got a new deal, so we're going to get into that. Also, we'll talk about the new coaches, structure, setup, because it all feels a bit grown up at United.
Is this deja vu?
All over again.
Did we do this last week?
Maybe. Who knows?
We're definitely derailing this.
Yeah.
Right, all right, fine. I don't believe that we're going to stick to the scripts, not that we've got one. Let's talk a little bit about, though, Erik Ten Hag, because he's just signed a new deal.
Still managing Man United, huh?
Hey?
Thought you were going to quit.
Just about. He's barely holding on.
Is he barely holding on? They've just given him a nice shiny new contract, spat on it, bosh on the table.
It's not that shiny of a new contract, is it? It's got a little. It's got a glint to it, but it's hardly a sort of David Moyes, Alan Pardew piece. It's one extra year because otherwise the team will revolt against you after 2 bad games.
I think it's a display of confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly. I think that's all it is.
It's a bit more sensible, isn't it?
That's all it is.
No, but I don't. I don't think it's a. I think it's a display. Is what I think it is.
Really?
A little bit. I mean, obviously they kept him and they wanted him, but they weren't that confident. They weren't that keen. They did interview other people.
Due diligence.
Yeah, I get due diligence.
You don't do that with your missus every week.
We interview new people.
Just interview like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on 5 or 6 dates with different girls and then decide that my missus was the right one.
Yeah. Exactly. We don't really tend to do that, do we?
No, we don't.
No, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. That's not the done thing, and it's not the done thing with managers. And INEOS can come in and say they're new and they're trying something different. I've never seen what happened there happen before.
Yeah, that's because it's not news when it happens everywhere else.
Does it happen everywhere else?
I think it does, yeah. I think there's times where clubs look at other options.
Look how many times someone's fired at 11 a.m. and the new manager's announced at 1.
I know it does happen, but it's very rare that you see people interviewed for a job that never becomes available.
No one cares who Notts County are interviewing. That's why.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, as well, I get your point, but also when United have gone in like with big contracts, like David Moyes, 6-year deal, he's gone within 8 months.
6-year contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Best mates with Fergie.
like it's pointless. So at least this is sensible. At least you're going, look, we're giving him a 2-year deal or a 1-year extension, and then we'll see how it goes. And that's how much we believe in him.
Yeah, but I'm not saying we should have given him a 6-year deal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't know how much of this is actually like. This doesn't say anything about the security of Ten Hag going forward.
But
really.
they could have easily sacked him.
Yeah, no.
So.
Are we all happy anyway? Are we all happy?
I'm buzzing.
I'm happy, yeah.
Are you
I think it's the right thing to do.
I think we all backed
I
Erik
love
tonight,
Erik.
didn't we? We did, yeah. We were all sort of pro Ten Hag when all the
I'm going to go
nonsense was
find
kicking
him
off.
again in the summer and give him a hug.
Yeah? Well, we'll see him, won't we, on the tour. You chat with him last time, didn't you?
Yeah,
did,
me and him.
Yeah.
I just said thanks.
I like that.
I tried to tactic his head off.
Did you?
Yeah, he's boring him.
I'm sure.
You're the only man who's ever bored Erik tonight with tactics. Even he was like, right, enough.
You ever thought about this?
Yeah. Like, just let me get this board out for you, Erik.
Stay there. You got a counter.
Hang on, come here.
You got a magnet.
Look at this, magnetic.
Also, what did it help? We had about 5 rum and cokes on whiskey and cokes on the table while we're trying to talk to him.
Stick using them as the players. Look, imagine if this one had shown. That's your left winger.
Hold that.
Right?
The one with
Hey, pass me that
Hey,
brandy.
give us 2 more.
Yeah, on his room.
Come on, Ed Sheeran's, isn't it? Who works everywhere else.
Yeah, so we're all happy. It's all positive vibes.
Yeah.
You're a little bit concerned about the length of it, but it makes sense. Pause. Not your first time.
That's what she said.
You just got to spit on it.
It wasn't a concern.
I didn't mean that, Joe.
I just wanted to look at the average length of other people's contracts to see how I was stacking up. It wasn't a concern. Again, it was called due diligence, Joe. You know what? We are within a fraction of 1% of the lower end of the average range, and that's fine. Okay? We're barely in the cause for concern
Talking
category.
about Cox is dribbling. Fucking hell.
The family show this sometimes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, they're all very sensible,
Cox,
aren't
I
they?
mean, so.
Yeah, they're all very sensible. So it makes sense to give them like a 1-year deal. Because if they give him a 4-year deal, everyone would be like, that's not real. Like, that's a bit weird. Do you know what I mean? So it all makes sense. Listen.
3 years is right. That's more than every manager post Fergie's had.
Yeah.
So giving someone a 3-year deals, that's quite the commitment.
Also, the extension's been the kiss of death, hasn't it? Like, Mourinho got an extension in the summer and was gone by January.
Yeah.
Ollie got an extension and was gone by, December, gone by a similar thing.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit like, oh yeah, we give these managers long-term deals. And
Moyes didn't get one.
No, Moyes just got that long.
Fluid didn't get
Is
one.
this still going, Moyes? I think
Yeah.
Moyes is still
Moyes
2 years left on it.
We're out there now.
Oh,
That was so fucking stupid.
There was a while there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But it was just so many different things that happened. Like Trump was
I think we was
president.
into Ollie, weren't we?
I think
Biden.
Biden was president while Moyes' contract was still active.
Jesus.
That is mental.
It is. It's not just obviously Erik Ten Hag's got his extension. We've got like the full setup now, haven't we?
Yeah.
You've been crying out for years. You've been on moaning.
Sounds like
about.
Rude's coming as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Is that Rude Van Nistelrooy's music?
Yeah, no, well,
He comes running down the ramp.
he is.
yeah. What do you make of that Ruud van Nistelrooy joining as a coach? Because are you wanting to talk? He's such a legend. We've been here before.
I like that he's
It
coming as
works
a coach.
perfectly what you're talking about.
But he's proven that he's a good coach, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been at PSV.
He has
done
proven
bits.
he's a good coach, but
He's not just because he's the best finisher
he's
you've
also
probably
had
ever
a
seen.
taste for being a first team, like, you know, a manager and stuff. And I just feel like a little bit of him rejecting Burnley and stuff was just in case. I'm about just pick up the
If you look
pieces.
how many managers get their job because they were the assistant when the main man got fired, it's a lot.
Gareth Keenan in Slough. He got the job when David Brent left. Dwight Schrute, same thing.
Oh, you're annoyed when people say
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's usually you.
Yeah.
Go on.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Michael Carrick, interim piece.
Yeah.
Ryan Giggs,
Brian Giggs, same thing.
interim piece.
Was he? Yeah, he was. Yeah, he got the same thing. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was an assistant, wasn't he?
He looked the
happens a
best
lot.
in a suit, didn't he?
Oh my
don't know, I
god!
think Carrick's
My
looked
childhood
apart.
ended when he walked out in a suit.
That was amazing. That. If it was based on how good they looked in a suit,
Hey,
Carrick or
hey.
Giggs is manager now.
10 fucking years ago.
That's mad, that, innit?
Add it up.
Honestly. Jesus Christ. It's not just Rude. He's got his mate with him, Rennie Yako.
Take a moment to digest that.
Right.
10 years ago.
It was fucking 10 years ago.
Ryan
You're
Giggs.
old, isn't it? You've been sober for what?
I know.
11 years?
10 years. I got sober just after all that.
And when we
That's
do
it,
the
you
treble,
completed
when
now,
we do
innit?
the
So
show,
you
you're gonna be
completed, yeah.
You can get back on it.
when
Mate, as soon as
we finish that treble, as soon as the final whistle hits in the Champions League final, wherever we are, me and Jay are going Manila.
Yeah.
We're going to buy shirts.
Yeah.
And we're not going to be wearing underpants.
Exactly. It's all arranged. Don't worry about it.
Running around like
Manila's an
Winnie the Pooh.
interesting place, isn't it?
In the Philippines.
Yeah, known for his envelopes, which is weird. Very, very few
You know what?
places.
I'm angry with myself for laughing at that.
But Rennie Hake, you must have done some research on him, Steve, because he's a kind of mid-table.
I couldn't help it.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen that video of him shouting like mad. Why is it in English, by the way?
Don't know, because
why is it in English?
Because it's the common language, isn't it, English? Because not everyone in that dressing room will speak Dutch, but almost everyone will speak English.
Right, okay.
It's embarrassing, that, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah.
I actually genuinely dislike how easy everybody in the fucking world speaks English and just enables just crap fucking parlez-vous anglais from us.
Yeah, I know.
It is sad, isn't it? But, you know...
What do you make of Rennie Hake?
Don't know enough about him.
Have you not done an in-depth detail?
I've had a look, yeah.
Have you not looked at his piece?
No, I looked at his piece. I've had a bit of a look, but yeah, the proof is going to be in the pudding, isn't it? I think it's interesting. Does that mean Mitchell van der Gaag's gone now?
I don't think so. I mean, it might do, but that hasn't been announced.
I thought that was the talk. Okay. So, maybe it spells the end of Mitchell van der Gaag. Don't know what he did.
Do you reckon that's what happened in Ten Hag's meeting with him? He went, look, it's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not pointing any fingers at whose fault it is.
Just looks like
I'm not saying it's anyone's fault in particular.
Obviously,
if you're looking for a bold fraud in this organisation,
then
so
this guy's got curly hair and brushes his teeth, if you know what I mean.
So I think putting together a new coaching staff, good thing.
Yep.
I don't know who the good cop's going to be.
I think McLaren's doing the heavy lifting on that, isn't he? He's going to be like
the only person doing any lifting.
He's the only one who's not like reducing everyone to tears.
Hake looks like he loves a bollocking.
Yeah. Loves that.
Ten Hag is cold as ice. Ruud van Nistelrooy is the guy who put an arm round you.
No,
I don't think so.
He doesn't strike me as that guy, does he?
But when he's not the manager, he could easily take up that role.
That's true.
You know, if you're like the manager that's making all the decisions, you could, just have everyone be like, what's that for other guys?
Yeah.
And he goes, I thought you was going to be good. I forgot.
We've all been bad cops. And Luke Shaw's passed out. I wonder if... Do you like this?
Luke Shaw thinks of going on holiday. I'm not having it. We need to cancel his contract.
I was going to say I'm going to stalk him, but that's illegal. I'm not going to stalk him.
You're me, innit?
I don't want to see him go.
Didn't you have like one of the most awkward encounters ever?
Yeah, we had a gym smaller than this corner of the room that we're in because it wasn't even the size of this.
Love this.
I walk into the gym at 7 a.m. or something like that, and honestly, we both saw each other and was like, look at us doing a gym at 7 a.m. It was blagging it more.
Spider-Man.
It was well awkward.
Do we like this idea that we've got a bit of a super team of first team coaches making up, like head coaches making up the coaching staff? Because you don't see that everywhere.
No, you don't.
People who've managed multiple clubs in Rennie Hake's case and obviously won trophies as a head coach.
Who did Fergie bring in? What was it called? What was it called?
Walter Smith.
Walter Smith. Yeah. He'd done it.
He had him for about 3 months, though, didn't he?
On the FA Cup.
But it's not usual that to have head
Carlos
coaches.
Queiroz, Real Madrid manager, Manchester United assistant.
No, but that went the other way, didn't it?
No,
he was
he
assistant,
came back.
Then went manager. Then but he was assistant first.
But wasn't he a manager first? Then came our assistant. Then went to manage Real Madrid. Then came back as our assistant.
It is strange, but it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Because a lot of these people, like, where's Rennie Hake come from? Go Ahead Eagles, and you come into Manchester United.
Yeah.
Like, I know, like, it's still somebody's a big club.
Obviously, Ollie spawned 2 managers from his little tenure as well.
Yeah. It does, like, and Steve McLaren, I know he's been a manager in the past, but his career as a manager wasn't exactly flying, was it, when he came back to Manchester United?
He did all right at 20, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
With Ten Hag as assistant.
Newcastle and Derby and all that sort
Rennie
of stuff.
Hake managing the under-19s.
Was it?
Yeah.
So it's all sort of interconnected. It's not just the coaching staff, though, is it, as well? Above them, it now looks like, for once, we've got a proper setup.
Loads of fellas.
Yeah.
Loads of fellas. Suits and that.
All suits, all fellas. But Dan Ashworth's coming officially. And that statement, by the way,
Trash Paddock,
announcing Ten Hag's extension was Dan Ashworth's first public act as United's sporting director, wasn't it? He made a statement in there. That's the first thing we've seen of him in any description.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, Dan Ashworth, Manchester United sporting director, said, with 2 trophies in the past 2 seasons, Erik has reinforced his record as one of the most consistently successful coaches in European football. While the club's review of last season highlighted areas for improvement, it also reached a clear conclusion that Erik was the best partner for us to work with in driving up standards and outcomes. This group of players and staff have already shown they are capable of competing and winning at the top level. Now we need to do it more consistently. With our strengthened football leadership team now in place, we are looking forward to working hand in hand with Erik to achieve our shared ambitions for this.
You know what I like about that?
Go on.
Yeah,
The
but
sentence
for
which
home
it says,
Yeah.
the advert for the home kit at the bottom, but also the bit where it says Erik was the best partner for us, because it seems like a collaborative thing and not it's all on this bold guy.
Yeah, it does, well, that, with all these people as well, and you guess, like, if you're saying someone like Jason Wilcox, what was he, director of football at Southampton?
Yeah, and director of academy at City.
Yeah, he's had like big roles. At come to United. You're not just going to say come to United and just make up the numbers. He's got to have some sort of saying what's going on. Same with Dan
He's the
Ashworth.
only man in the club currently with the Premier League winners medal.
Johnny Evans?
Steve McLaren.
Rude.
Rude's not here yet.
Oh, okay,
I don't know
sorry.
what Johnny Evans is doing.
Johnny Evans signed a new contract.
Heaton, has your mate not got one?
No, I think he does.
Has he not? He deserves one.
I did text him saying, Tom,
He just done it.
Fucking really deserve one.
Guys, just give him one. He's been around enough.
I texted him and said, Tom, he one more year. And
Pick that up, Steve.
don't worry about it.
Did he reply?
Yeah, he did.
There's a pile. Just leave it. Did he reply?
He did reply.
He's good stuff though when he's Tommy, and it's good that he's got like a 1 year extension. He's sticking around. Yeah, in terms of this sort of structure, then, is there any concern that you've got too many people in all this?
No, because
Like, there's still a lot.
I think Sir Alex Ferguson was doing all of these jobs.
Yeah.
And I think because the club grew from where it was in the mid-80s to where it was in 2013 around him, it's that boiling frog kind of thing, isn't it? Like frogs don't realise that they're in boiling water because they've been in it that long. I think Fergie didn't realise he was actually doing a dozen people's jobs. And you can argue that football has become a little bit more technical and there is a requirement to scout further and deeper, and the money involved has become a little bit more astronomical, so you maybe do need a few more people's approval on stuff or opinions on stuff, because it's not possible to run Manchester United the way it was run in 1986 in 2024.
No.
So
not at
I
all.
think that Fergie was literally doing, I think him and Busby were academy directors. I think they were recruitment specialists. I think they were directors of football. I think they were managers. And I think for a time they were both head coach. I think the only reign that they give to someone else was the coach. Obviously Jimmy Murphy did it for Samat, and Sir Alex, after 4 or 5 years there, like him and Archie Knox did it. But Fergie used to take the sessions at the back end of the 80s, and then it was only 90s onwards where he kind of was like, you guys take the coaching, I'm going to do the observing. And I think he was just so abreast of everything else. Like he knew the names of everyone in the academy. He didn't need to sit down with the director of football and say, okay, in 5 years, where's Danny Welbeck going to be? He just knew. It was in his head. I'm not going to get rid of him because I'm going to... and he would be plotting like that. Whereas now I think that because the club is already at that size, it requires all of these different people. And I think the likes of John Murter, Ed Woodward, held too much power within the club for too little football experience. And now we've gone in and we've got, I mean, it's like half a dozen fellas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Brailsford's clearly just a consultant, someone that's going to listen to your ideas and maybe give an alternative angle. Joe, a bit of a clean slate sort of opinion on what you're thinking. And he's got excellence in sport throughout his career. I think obviously you're going to have Wilcox coming in, and he's the technical director, I think is his role. Fletch is now going to be the transition from academy to first team. I don't know if that's out there.
It's just exclusive. It is now.
So obviously you would think those two are going to communicate quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then you would think him and Erik are going to communicate quite a lot. Who are we bringing through? Oh, Amir needs to be the next one. Like Joe, them sort of conversations need to be having. And then obviously the Ashworth has to be involved with him and Erik. Got to sit down. Okay, what's this year's starting 11 and back up 15? What's next year's starting 11 and back up 15? When are we going to be replacing Onana? When are we going to be replacing Bruno? I think 3 years, 4 years. So whatever, those are the decisions. Best case scenario, obviously, because you never know what's going to happen. But that's the sort of planning we have to have. And that's when you don't end up signing Jadon Sancho one window and Anthony the next and still don't have a right winger.
Yeah.
Like that's where you hope that all of these people are on top of all of that sort of stuff at all times, because I think there's just too much in the job now that it can be done by one genius.
It's not just the quantity of people, though. The quality is there. In terms of the CV and the success they've had, I don't know loads about him, but when you look at what they've achieved, they've all sort of...
Well, it's nobody's first job, is it?
No, exactly. You feel like they deserve the right to be at Manchester United, where in the past, like you mentioned, Murtaugh, question marks there, Ed Woodward, a banker, became the most important person at Manchester United. Well, yeah, a fucking wanker. But
nice.
You look at... in case anyone didn't get it.
Really solid
Do you know
stuff,
what I mean?
yeah.
But you look at it, look at everyone's CV here. It's just a who's who of the most successful people in sort of football at the minute.
Berrada was in my hotel last weekend.
Will you just fuck off with all these people you keep bumping into a meeting? It's just
going on now.
Did you stroke his head?
No, I didn't see him. I didn't spot him.
For fuck's
What do you make of all this?
How do you know? Was he really there?
Well, yeah, Rio spoke to him.
Oh, did I?
Was it, mate?
Any juicy goss?
Yeah, you many tips.
You're still waiting for Qatar to come in, and
Yeah, Rio's like, listen,
Let's shake to see him get say. I'll have a word with him.
you're in off your ear, mate.
Don't worry. You can keep your job. Any day now it's going to happen.
Is it today? Is it Qatar today?
That was crazy.
It was crazy. But that's what happens occasionally. You hear good sources.
then you get excited.
Yeah, you get excited. He decides to do a video about it straight away.
Yeah.
Macca, what do you make of all this? Are you excited, bro? I know you're loving Ruud van Nistelrooy, and we all are, but what about the rest?
I'm not. I'm just kind of waiting to see, and just I've got this new approach to things now. Even like with players and stuff. Like I'm excited about this potential sign of the Ligt and all these kind of players, but I'm not going to get carried away and just wait and see what happens now. We get too excited too many times.
I don't like it when you
wait. Give us 3 weeks.
Because you've
Why are you not saying
Give us
21 is
3
coming?
weeks.
What's
The only
happening with
reason
you?
you're here, you dickhead.
You're the one that's like 21 is coming.
Give us 3 weeks. Let's get out to LA and get some edibles in me.
Yeah. When we've won a friendly. That's it. 21 is coming.
It would be real Betis.
Yeah.
21 is coming.
No, but you know what I mean. It's let's just wait and see what happens, man. There is a lot of people there that you do think, like, you know, one of the things that I like a lot of the time over the last 10 years, it's been if players don't like the manager, they just go, oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
And they just. But now you have to impress so many different people, otherwise you're out. That you might not be around anymore if the manager gets sacked. So. If these that want to keep on hold of their contracts and all these kind of things, you've got to justify your existence to the Berradas, the Blancs, like everyone. Otherwise, you're not going to be around no more.
Like, are we going to have another bus when we travel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Well,
Right, you're on the player bus or you're on the suit bus. Make sure you get the right bus. Don't get the wrong bus.
they've got rid of all the like the ticket office staff and everyone in it. So
Mate, he's not messing about. Is it 250 redundancies, I think it is this week.
what do we think of that? Part of me goes, it could be like, because I've seen some stats that said United had like 300, 400 more staff than like City and all these different people.
Bigger club.
And it could be a case they've gone through and gone, we've got far too many cooks here and you need to get rid of them.
Yeah.
But then part of it does feel a bit, you've come in on this whole I'm a man of Manchester thing and you just sacked everyone.
A lot of it as well. Like, I don't think the staff at United were particularly well paid. I think a lot of it was you
I think they trade on the fact that you're working for United,
Yeah.
so shut the fuck up and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Right.
But that's why the perks, like your FA Cup final
no more
ticket-
coaches to cup finals anymore.
But that's it. I think that was one of the perks that they got. Yeah, we know you're not paid as competitive as if you walked over at Media City and worked in the same job. Yes, we. You know, maybe the hours are a little bit erratic because we have fucking Thursday night football all the time. But it is Manchester United.
Bruno might say hello to you.
And there are going to be some perks.
Might
like
get to meet Luke Shaw.
you get travel to the FA Cup final and you are maybe in a different pot as in the tickets. And I think that's absolutely fine. If you work for the club, you probably should be ahead of me and you in the queue for the tickets. I think that's fair.
No, I don't agree with that.
But I think I don't know enough about who has gone.
Yeah.
Like, who's gone? Because
Have they sacked
look at
Cam?
it.
If they've sacked Cam, it's the right decision.
You're not seeing with Fergie and Eric?
Mate, he's all
firmly
over. He's everywhere.
I think he'll be running the media in soon.
here at Stretford Paddock.
My favourite Cam story was producer at Stretford Paddock. He went over to work for Manchester United and he was stood in front of the tunnel and his job was to film the players as they come out of the tunnel and he was waving to us in the stands as the players walked behind him.
Yeah, fuck it. Get him on the list. 250 on. He's gone it all.
Oh yeah, I don't know what. Knowing how Woodward and Murta run the club, it wouldn't shock me if we had overinflated IT support departments, but like undercooked everything else department.
To be fair, they must have sacked everyone at the ticket office because I tried to get through today and it's fucking.
Man, that never happens.
What have they got rid of? Is it
Jesus.
sales? Is it executive sales? Has the club just gone? Who gives a fuck? Like, I don't know enough about the
Or
people.
have they trimmed every team by 15% or whatever? We don't know.
Yeah.
But it's for whoever's lost their
Pure
job,
numbers
it's
wise,
a shit
it does
thing,
make
though,
you
isn't it?
think, like, if we're the most underperforming club compared to our size in the country and we've got double the staff of Man City and all that kind of thing, it makes you think something's not right.
Yeah.
It's like we've just been chucking shit at all these.
And I've seen some people. Barry Glendonnin's really took the bull by the horns with it this morning. He's saying,
Who is he? I see him on
I don't know
Twitter.
that name,
Talksport, innit?
yeah, is
Oh,
it Talksport? That
right,
sounds
okay.
about right.
It's not great.
So you think he's kicking off saying
Works for the Guardian. Apparently.
all of the people that they've got rid of, let's presume they was on 35k a year, it's like 8 months of like Mason Mount's wage or something.
I think he said that as well. Kieran Maguire said that, and he got a lot of stick off people.
I think
Kieran Maguire's good though, but
No, I love Kieran Maguire.
I did
think
find
that
it a little
highlights how
bit.
much we overpay on players.
yeah. I do think though.
Also, it doesn't have. You don't have to not sack someone just because their wage is nominal. You know what I mean? Compared to footballers' wage, they might still need to go. If you've got 50 people
Ethan.
fucking serving hot dogs and you only need 20 of them, then what the fuck are you supposed to do? You know what I mean?
You don't know what's going on. It doesn't look great when you
I think
see
they're
that
all
headline.
part-time staff as well, or
Yeah.
agency
The
staff.
headline
all the
doesn't look
people
great,
that
does
work
it?
on those.
No, it doesn't look great, and it is a shit day for everyone who's lost their job.
A lot
Yeah,
of
of
the
course,
things
man.
that
You don't want to see that.
Jim Ratcliffe has been saying though since has worried me.
In what way? In what's he said
The
specifically?
top 6 need to be like highly
voting rights
represented.
thing was weird.
Yeah, no, absolutely not,
Shut
because
the
the
fuck up.
entire Premier League was based on one team, one vote, and the whole everything that gets ratified is done so because the majority want it.
Yeah.
Also,
Not because.
sorry.
Yes, United have got the bigger share of this and that, but United have always played fair by this. We could have made the Premier League look like fucking Scotland if we wanted to from the early
Might as
days
well
when we
have
was.
Celtic.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
love that.
When we was dominating it, we could have had the option to just go, nah, fuck you, and negotiated our own deals, but we didn't. Manchester City have consistently railed against it since they got into that little elite club. They're like, no, we're not interested in how Brentford or whoever does. We're here for Manchester City, and that's that. But without a strong league, you don't have a strong club. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Rangers and Celtic are not top of the fucking Champions League list, are they, at the moment?
No,
because the league isn't strong.
Yeah.
The league has to be strong. You have to fucking nourish the roots, otherwise you don't have what you have at the top.
It does feel a little bit. I don't like it, man. When I hear some of that talk, it does feel. And also, this naming rights thing. Do you think it was just the Glazers making it? There'd be more pushback against it.
1,000,000%.
And I feel like a lot of people
Yeah.
just want Jim Ratcliffe to work and this whole INEOS thing to work. So they're kind of going.
Well, the Glazers
I don't like the sound of this,
there have been riots.
But also
Let's
part
have
of
it
that is because of their track record.
Yeah.
You can't separate. Whilst you can't just love everything Ratcliffe
Okay,
does.
what
'cause
is
it's
their
Ratcliffe.
track record though?
Well, the Glazers.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant about INEOS.
Well, so far their track record is assembling the team we've just been.
I think
through.
there's a
That's
little
all
bit of a-
starting on
Sorry, go
Carrington,
on.
putting a squad together to make either a new or updated Old Trafford.
Yeah.
These are things that the Glazers
Sebco, innit?
Sebco in it, exactly. So these are all things that the Glazers had never
innit?
done, and the Glazers had only ever taken money out of Man United. Jim Ratcliffe's already put more money in than they ever did.
I mean,
Yeah.
us for a pub.
Well, exactly. But so I think there is a bit of taking the rough with the smooth, and there wasn't any smooth with the Glazers. So any rough you took, you're fighting back against it. Whereas with Ratcliffe, and we can still disagree with things. And if you've got an owner who's more vocal and chats, and you see him, you're going to hear more opinions and disagree with more opinions.
He also
But I do think you have to sort of look at both sides.
They're doing a review of every aspect of the club,
Yeah.
where we play, where we train, what the stadium is, whether it gets naming rights or not. I think they're doing the process. I don't think they've made a single major decision properly, apart from maybe the manager. I think every other thing is we're exploring.
Yeah.
And even with the manager, I think they did we're exploring. And I think when people understand that there's a process behind stuff, you're less likely to just instantly rail against it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know enough. If they'd have sacked everyone at the club and been like, right, Monday, indeed, just going bananas on it, like, that's one thing. You go, well, did that need to be? That feels drastic, doesn't it, as a decision? They offered a load of redundancies, so they weren't like, listen, you lot all need to go. There was some of you probably could go.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't know enough about it.
But I do think that we're still allowed. They're still allowed to make decisions that we disagree with as fans, and that we vocalise our disagreement with that. It's not going to be, oh, thank you very much for sacking everyone. We love you. We can still disagree with stuff.
Yeah.
But if they're doing an equal or greater amount of good things, the odd bad thing that we disagree with probably isn't going to cause the protests and the stuff like that we saw with the Glazers, because they didn't do anything good.
What did you make of the naming rights thing? Sorry, you asked the
What
question.
was the best thing the Glazers did?
Fucking sell a bit to Jim Ratcliffe.
Is that literally that's it? Like,
yeah, I
can you
can't-
name anything else they did? They went, oh, well played, lads.
No, nothing. Like nothing. Any success that happened on their watch was because of Fergie.
It's been 19 years. Can you not think of anything?
There has
Oh,
to be
genuinely?
something.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
We upgraded to a sort of composite hardware.
We got Wi-Fi at Old Trafford 20 years later.
Yeah. Genuinely though, it's genuinely.
Was
like
Joe
nothing
Glazer
there.
leading the fucking fight?
Like,
Was it?
even though like
In the meetings, he was like, listen, lads.
It's like when they appointed Omar Berrada and they went, this was a joint decision by Jim Ratcliffe and
we
Joel
just so happened
Glazer.
to do it the day the
Jim
new guys came
Ratcliffe
in.
arrived.
Did
we
you
did
read
it that
Lawrence's
day.
report? Which said Joel Glazer wanted to look at all the scout reports every Monday from everyone. And John Mercer was asking him to put a bit more flowery language in it for him.
Jesus Christ, it's just it's embarrassing. What did you make of the naming rights thing? Because you asked the question.
I'm torn on it. Like, if it's like Old Trafford sponsored by something, we can forget that it's even sponsored. Like,
you were saying that the other day, weren't you, on the live?
or something like that. But if it just becomes like the Budweiser Stadium or something, I don't know about that.
Yeah, same.
Feels
Completely agree.
With all this going on, right, with all these changes in the coaching staff, INEOS have come in. We've got like all these, new members of the hierarchy, if you will. Some negativity on some of what they've done, like with redundancies. To talk about the name rights. What are your expectations for this season? Because a lot of it is going to come down to what happens on this football pitch. Because we'll stomach redundancies and we'll stomach naming rights and we'll stomach a lot of stuff if it looks like INEOS have got it together with what is going on the pitch. So what are you expecting to see?
What's weird is we're looking at signing a few players, and it's like we want to sign Ligt and we want to sign Bramford. And you're like, how can we possibly do that if we need other players in other positions and our money isn't that good anyway?
Yeah.
But then it must be a case that they're going to get rid of loads of players. So then we need to start movement on that.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see over the next couple of weeks. Players going.
Yeah.
Now, there was talk that Dan Ashworth thinks he can raise 200 million from a select bunch of players, which
we
I'm a
were
bit
doing the maths
sceptical
on this the other night. It didn't quite add up.
That's
did it?
perhaps an optimistic.
Yeah,
view
it
of
was
the
like the top
situation,
end for each player. So you're getting 45 million for, say, Sancho, and 50 million or 40 million for Greenwood, and maybe 35 for Harry Maguire or whatever. It wasn't anything like you're getting 20 for one and 15 for another.
See, no one's giving us any money for Sancho.
That's the thing. I think that made up a chunk of that money. That 200 million was.
But we'll be lucky to get 20-30 mil from Maguire.
Anthony was another one, wasn't it? I mean, you were talking about this on the Transfers Live, where I think you'll struggle to find a club for Anthony.
It looks like Casemiro's not going.
And if he don't go Saudi Arabia, who's coming in for him?
Yeah.
Like it's Saudi Arabia or bust for Casemiro, isn't it? Because no one's going to take him in the sort of Europe's top leagues. I know he's a very good player, but come on.
Yeah. I know it means nothing, but the other day when he posted the picture in the new kit, I was like, huh? Wait, what?
Probably
I know it means absolutely nothing
to do that,
but it was like,
I know what you mean.
What?
It's definitely contractual.
But on that, the expectations for the season, starting from now, like you said, I think our ability to sell players is going to be just as big a thing as our ability to buy the right players. Because we've been probably one of the worst teams in Europe at selling players. Certainly for like what we paid for them to what we get for them. We've been horrendous at it.
Yeah.
We can't shift people.
You struggle to find someone worse.
People leaving on frees who'll be bought on massive money. People leaving for massive losses. Everyone knows Dan James is United's 5th highest ever sale, etc. Identifying and buying the right players is the most important thing. But being able to sell players for a decent amount of money so you can then buy more players and buy the right players and keep a rotation in the squad of people who aren't sat there stagnating, stinking the place out for 3 or 4 years, that's going to be absolutely massive as to how things go.
Crap at selling players, even like Beckham.
Yeah, we've always
was it 22 million for
Ronaldo.
Beckham, was it?
Yeah.
Scandalous.
Well, look at what happened with Pogba. That's insane.
Yeah.
We had him when he was 17, 18. He was mint. We let him go for nothing. We bought him back for 89 million and then let him go for nothing again.
We can do things in the transfer market others can only dream of, Jake.
It's unbelievable.
No one ever dreamt of that.
I've never seen anything like it. No. And that was just almost acceptable. It's United, isn't it?
In terms of the actual season, my main expectation is to see a squad that looks like they're trying their hardest every week. That's like, let's start with that. A team that looks energised and motivated and like they're really going for it. I think last season there was too many times when people were sort of plodding about, people throwing their arms up in the air, falling out with each other, sort of a Mardy kind of upset look to them. I want to see a team that looks like they're trying to prove themselves, and a bit of fucking squad harmony for the first time in 18 months would be good.
You can see it under this manager that he's capable of getting out of it, because you saw it in the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
That's not a fluke.
I also think like people that in those jobs above helps to make the thing not seem so stale anymore, or not seem, keep everything fresh, which they've got to do with all these players and stuff. Keep it fresh, make these players be on their toes permanently, make them worried for their spot, make them want to be playing for this team. A lot of the time it feels like everyone just eventually feels like, fuck this place up.
If
And we need to make it a place where people want to work. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, it does feel like it's going to take a couple of windows to sort this out. though.
Ain't sending the women to St George's or something mad like that.
I mean, that's gone down like a lead balloon, hasn't it?
They've
With a lot
booked
of
some
people,
dates
like,
out.
Jesus Christ.
So
That's
like
a great
wedding
PR move.
reception.
But that's
They did try and get Power League at Hardwick, but it was booked up.
What's your expectation for the season, Steve? What do you want to see as a result of?
Well, even I've been through what I think we've got in terms of a squad, and spoiler alert, I don't think it's all that. Even with the signings that we're likely to make, I think you're looking, like Jim Radcliffe said, probably 3 windows before you can consider competing. I think we've got that much to turn around.
3 windows or 3 summer windows?
Yeah, I only consider the summer window.
Yeah.
I'm a traditional much like that.
Good.
January window's not worth a wank in it, really. No, I reckon you're looking at probably that. If we're being real with ourselves, yes, it'd be nice to do something in the cups and maybe push into like 2nd or 3rd and be like, fucking hell, we've exceeded where we thought we would be. But if we get top 4, I'm pretty happy with that because it's progress from where we've been.
Do you expect us to get top 4? When you look at other squads, you think of like obviously City, Arsenal, Liverpool. If Chelsea and Spurs have got their act together,
Chelsea's surely going to get.
It's not easy, is
Go
it?
either way, actually.
There's at least 4 teams.
Liverpool could fall off with their new ball.
Yeah, that geezer's not doing
Arnie
that.
Slot. Never heard of him, mate.
So who's locked in the top 4? City
City and
surely.
Unfortunately.
Arsenal surely.
Never know. Though.
Mate, charges.
I think that's
115
it.
in
I think
November.
it's City and Arsenal, the only 2 where you'd say a better than 60% chance to get in top 4.
So you're looking at Newcastle, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, United,
Villa.
for those, and
Villa, you can't
Villa are in
count
there
that
now.
out.
You can't say they're not
Right,
going for
they're
it.
doing well under Emery. They're not, it's not going away, is
so
it?
6 going for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Every season, at least 2 of them have a nightmare. Chelsea and United did it last season.
Liverpool are well due that, by the way.
Liverpool are due one. Tottenham are
If
due
I'm
one.
putting my money on it, Liverpool really shit the bed this year.
Yeah.
And
Slot
think-
sacked by Christmas.
and
That'd be that,
Spurs.
wouldn't it?
Jamie Carragher installed as
Oh,
interim
no,
manager.
even better, Gerrard.
Oh,
Mate, imagine that. Gerrard back there as the manager.
We're gonna go play with the top.
Brilliant.
So what difference do you think these people will have next season? I don't mean obviously like day by day, but like in terms of, do you
So
think we're going to
Newcastle
start to
didn't do
feel that?
anything on the pitch, and they just changed the back room, and it was like, brr.
Yeah, but all of a sudden
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
momentum.
People don't want to fuck around no more. The jobs are at stake.
Could be that, could be analysis, it could be the way things are delivered.
Do you think we'll start to feel that though? Do you know that movement you feel like
Also-
Newcastle felt it?
Also, you take
Teams
the pressure
feel
off
like
the manager with what he's doing, and suddenly this geezer feels like he can have an impact. He can get his shit together on the training field. He can, he's not speaking to the players as much anymore because you've got other people in positions to, if it's contract negotiations or whatever, you've got people stepping in to take over those roles where he's just dealing with them on a team basis.
Oh, listen, there was at one point last season where
great.
I think was it like every day for like 9 weeks there was a statement from United,
Yeah.
whether it was Greenwood, whether it was Anthony, whether it was fucking Rashford,
Sancho.
whether it was Sancho. Yeah, like there was every day someone was fucking about. And I remember saying like, how many times a day do you reckon he just walks in and just puts his head on his desk, and at the same time like, oh by the way, Martinez is injured as well. Casemiro's just fell down the stairs. Like, how many times a week was
Tried
he
to
having
tackle
that?
someone.
Where now he's going to have Ruud van Nistelrooy dishing out warm hands to the face, hopefully. He's going to have that other hack fella just fucking seemingly just shouting at people, which I'm now for. And then you've got all of the other people milling around the place, experts and leaders like Wilcox.
There was
Fletcher
rumours
are
that
all
he
gonna be
was
in the mix.
already, like, as soon as he got there, was getting right involved, wasn't there, in, like, the first team. I don't know how realistic
Well,
some
someone
of it
said,
was.
he suggested the formation or something for the
False
City game,
nine
didn't
thing,
he?
yeah.
But I think people read a lot into that. Football manager will sit down and discuss. Like they might message the strength and conditioning coach. I'm thinking this is the starting 11. What's your thoughts? Just to get a different angle of what he's thinking on it. Yeah, maybe. All right, that could work. Yeah. Have you thought about him up front? And then you might go to all the rest of his assistants and all the rest of his first team coaches. They might do it in a meeting. That might be the Thursday morning that they do.
Just to further the debate, is there a chance there's too many cooks?
Yeah.
Not. I don't mean the chief exec and directors.
No,
I mean
you need
in terms of the coaches and that.
So long as the hierarchy is established that everyone's opinion is valued, but I made the decision, I don't think that's
And
a
these
problem.
Dutchies love a row.
They do love a row.
You've just got to have everyone on the same page, haven't you? People saying like Ruud van Nistelrooy could be looking at that going, one day I'll be United manager. He's got to go in there looking to do the best job he can to help Erik ten Hag get the best out of these players. And if everyone's on the same page, then it does kind of make sense. And a club the size of Manchester United should have a coaching staff that's got that experience and that depth of knowledge. Because in the past, it's been that whole thing of like, we'll just be like we were under Fergie. and it was a disaster. That expecting David Moyes to do the same job as
Just trying to replicate it.
yeah, was insane. Again, just stupid thinking. And even someone like Louis van Gaal, who's across quite a lot of things, he needed more help than what he got.
Well, even Louis got here and was like, "Why is it fucking for the lights of training?"
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "What?"
And
It gets dark at 3:29.
And I don't think
we can't see.
I don't think like you go back to Moyes when it all started going wrong straight away. He didn't do himself any favours when he brought in like Jimmy Lumsden and Steve Round and Phil Neville. No disrespect to him.
And he took away our chips.
Yeah.
No ketchup, Macca.
Really?
Bellends. Footballers are bellends, aren't they?
It is funny.
Oh, I gotta have some chips. Fuck off.
It was just yeah. It was been a
I can't
shambles.
control the ball without chips.
Where's the padding in my foot? I've lost 2 stone and I can't control shit. Can we talk about Ligt?
Yeah, go on then quickly.
Just because we haven't spoken about this together, it's the first sort of like big name we've been linked with, and it's been like Zirkzee and
Do you want a little fact?
Yes.
Little fun fact.
Go on.
About Matthijs de Ligt.
Yeah.
In his first season at Ajax, he won the league.
Well.
In his
Premier League.
In his first season at Juventus,
Yes.
he won league.
Yeah.
And his first season at Bayern Munich, he won the league.
There you go.
Ipto facto, 21 is coming.
Thank you. See, it only took him 20 minutes to get there. 20 minutes ago, I'm not going there. I'm not saying that. He got there in the end.
not getting carried away.
That's the Macca we all love. Yeah, I agree.
Remember when we went into Mourinho's second
Jose,
season?
he always was
when
the
we
title
were
of the
in
second
Lincolnshire,
season.
put your house on it.
And we were first for about a week.
We've had some real, these guys are bang. Louis van Gaal won the league everywhere he's been.
Yeah,
Jose
banker.
won the league everywhere
Second
he's been.
season, he always wins the league.
De Ligt.
You know what I mean?
The one thing I'm
Ronaldo,
excited about the
Champions
Ligt
League.
one, but why are they giving him us so cheap? That's what worries me. What do they know that we
Bayern Munich's a bit of a weird one, though, isn't it?
Because they're going to give him to us like 40
Right, yeah,
mil.
but they've also just signed 2 new starting centre halves, and they already have like 3.
Exactly. So why have they signed 2 new centre halves?
Because sometimes there's clubs that are
Have they got Jonathan Tah?
are bang.
Eric Dyer started.
Links
I know he was injured. He had injury issues last year, but Eric Dyer was
Trying to get
starting.
Jonathan Tah. So
Yeah,
that's
and they also didn't win anything, so maybe there's a lesson in that.
yeah. I think they're
When
ramping it.
I think there's certain clubs that just they have a need for a shiny thing, and I think Bayern Munich are one, and I think Real Madrid are another, and I think not Bayern Munich. You typically don't get a good player out of Bayern Munich, but Real Madrid are just fucking tossing diamonds away all the time because they just need shiny things. Do you know what I was thinking? Jim Ratcliffe the other day said United and Real Madrid have spent the same basically in the last 10 years, and obviously they're miles ahead of us compared to what we've done in the last 10 years. So I thought, well, let me just have a quick comparison. United 2019 window, we signed Maguire, we signed Wan-Bissaka. We have our pants pulled down, really, don't we?
130 million for the 2.
On them 2, I was like, what did Real Madrid do that summer? Well, Joe, that was when they signed Eden Hazard.
110 million.
That was just,
in the last year of
they
his
might as well
contract.
just set fire to
Yeah,
that.
that's one of the worst transfers ever.
Genuinely.
Not at the time, though.
No, I mean what?
worked out as that.
What I mean,
But in hindsight,
he got.
I'd have rather given 130 million for Hazard than 130 million for Maguire.
They didn't get Eden Hazard.
I think we got better
They didn't
value
get
for money than
the
they
player
got for
that
Hazard.
Comfortably.
he was done.
I mean, yeah, if you just had 2 players walking about, you
Luka
would.
Jovic,
Yeah.
not exactly.
No,
I think he's now worth about 30 quid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They signed Rodrigo, which is a good signing. They signed another one. I think I remember his name.
What season is this?
They also signed Ferland Mendy,
Yeah,
And-
who has played for him.
who's now back in the team under
Militao?
Ancelotti.
I
Eder Militao was the other one. Yeah,
He's
from
been a
Porto,
decent signing for
who's
him.
done his crucial.
But they also signed a Brazilian Reina, 30 million. Who the fuck is he?
Yeah.
Renier, he's classing. From Flamengo, good lad.
Yeah,
But they
good
did
lad.
that. But then
Named
they
after Jesus.
But then they didn't really spend any money for like 3 or 4 years, and then they got Chouameni for 100 million, Bellingham for 100 million,
Camavinga.
and Mbappe.
They got Lunin, their keeper, who I'd never heard of until this season.
Yeah.
It's mad how you can go and spend all that money and just be fine. Waste all that money
free.
and just
Spent like 280
and
million
still
quid.
win Champions
That's
League.
mad, isn't it? Like, out of all them signings, Areola, Militao, Hazard, James Rodriguez, Luka Jovic, Ferland Mendy. Well, Ferland Mendy was obviously there. But, like, who would have thought Lunin would be the one playing in the Champions League final
It's
and go?
crazy.
Yeah.
You can't count Real Madrid. though.
Odegaard.
Just,
Signed Odegaard that summer as well.
oh yeah.
Mate, Arsenal got such a bargain on him, you know.
Yeah, he's been excellent for them.
Like I say, Real Madrid do occasionally toss diamonds out. So you don't necessarily get that with Bayern Munich. But I'm wondering, have they just gone, oh, shiny thing, signed a load of centre halves? Because Kim Min-jae's potentially going to be on the bench as well.
Yeah.
Like, so both of them would fucking play for United and every other team in the world and be fine.
Also, like, Bayern Munich if they don't win the league, even if nothing's wrong, they have to think something's wrong, innit?
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, everything.
It's crisis season for them.
It does
Finishing
look like-
third is a crisis.
Of course it is.
They need to get rid of Harry Kane. That's who they need to get rid of. He's a fucking
But
big
you know
time loser.
what? Yes, the guy scores a lot of goals.
Oh, hello.
But can he
There we
win?
go.
I don't
Big time
think-
loser.
I
You know
don't-
what rattled me the other
Sometimes it's
day?
about being a team player.
Him chiming in on Jude Bellingham's celebration, the fucking wet wipes 1-1, you mug.
He's 30 years old.
I agree with
What
that.
are you
The stuff
doing?
about
What
him
are you
not being a
doing?
good player is garbage.
I didn't say he's not a good player. I didn't say I said he's a loser. There's a big difference between what I said.
He's
He
not-
might be the greatest loser of all time, but he's a loser.
That used to be Jay's moniker. So Kane's took that off you.
What, the greatest loser? I'm
all
not a
time.
loser, mate.
Oh,
You're a loser.
I was thinking of me, not you.
That's what Harry Kane was
the
saying.
Bellingham
Watching
thing,
this.
at 1-1 stood there doing that, you think, get the ball, put it on the spot and try to score.
what are you
That's
doing?
like
That's
Dan, that's like Dan James against Crystal Palace. We had like Rashford and Martial grabbing him like, come on, get in there. Like,
absolutely.
I
But
don't blame Bellingham. Like, he's just scored a goal. He's buzzing. He took a load of shit. I get it. But yeah, I was a bit like.
He was taking what?
But they don't need to get rid of Harry Kane. He's very
Bayern Munich.
yeah.
Yeah, they do. He's the loser.
I don't think it's his fault they've not won a trophy when he scored like 40 goals last season.
No, he kind of did his job. But then
46 goals.
they weren't winning the big games.
Probably because their striker's standing on the halfway line.
No, it's because the alternative to him are people like Serge Gnabry, who, if we're honest, wasn't good enough for Arsenal.
Choupo-Moting's still there. as well, isn't he? He's
Choupo-Moting was
like,
there.
Serge Gnabry, who was
purple patch, and that was
tearing it up in the Champions League,
don't
and
do
who
that.
won the league for them.
Don't give me that.
Also, Tuchel lost the plot a bit.
Why are you defending Harry Kane so much?
Because he's obviously.
Are you Herbie Kane, his brother or whatever it was?
Herbie Kane?
Is that his name?
Brian?
Is he called Charlie?
Charlie
What?
Kane.
Why is this a thing? How do you even know that?
Nova
Because
Kane.
remember his weird brother was his agent for a bit. And he was like, no wonder you haven't got a move, you big dickhead.
My favourite thing with Harry Kane is where he swore on his daughter's life that he scored that.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Tell that story for people who don't remember.
So there was a goal like
Was that before or after Ericsson collapsed?
it was before. It was before, yeah, because he was
I was
going
gonna
for the
say,
goal.
he made a deal with the devil there.
And there was a goal
Making that
scored.
goal.
Someone had a shot, and it was like, did it touch Harry Kane? It didn't look like it did. And then he said, "I swear on my daughter's life, it did touch me. It's my goal."
Proper playground.
And then Christian
stuff
Eriksen
like
went,
that.
all right.
Yeah, and Christian was like, fine. What are you doing, you
what's up
absolute
with that?
weirdo?
What a weird thing
Yeah.
to say.
I reckon Christian Eriksen wanted that goal, and someone in the club's gone.
You've got to give it to Harry.
So do you like De Ligt then? Do you like this transfer? Are you worried about? I mean, there's just been some woeful stuff just cut out there. Apologies
No, there
to
hasn't.
everyone. It
We
was
don't cut anything out.
incredibly
It's
offensive.
It wasn't incredible.
Harry Kane.
You don't watch
Fuck
this.
Harry Kane. What's he going to do? Fight me?
You'll probably be drinking with him next year.
Yeah, you will.
He'll be
You'll
all
be on and out
busy.
and saying, "Is
Yeah, 'cause
actually
Bayern will sack him and he'll
I've
be
just
on
had a drink with
ITV.
Harry Kane. He's actually good, and he told me that he wanted to come to United.
I bet he's not sound.
Harry Kane.
Do you like De Ligt? Are you worried about the injuries?
He
People
bet he buys
talking
drinks
about?
on his own. I fucking guarantee he goes to the bar and comes back with his own drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not doing rounds.
Do you know what? I think Harry Kane's just like,
Drunk more than anyone.
he's just not that excited as a person, innit? I don't think he's particularly bad. He's just like, he doesn't seem like a sort of person you'd want to spend any time with. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not a dickhead. He's just okay.
It does feel a bit harsh.
That makes you a dickhead, though.
Does it?
I think he seems all right.
Oh, go hang out with him then.
I would love to. Where is
Would
it?
hang out of him by
Right
the
now?
sounds of it.
Yeah.
Germany.
All right.
If you had to go for a drink,
It won't be for long.
If you had to go for a drink with anyone in that England squad, he'd be like fucking 14th on your list of going for a
No,
drink
he'd
with
be
someone.
about fourth.
No, he wouldn't.
He would.
You're lying.
He's the captain.
He's the captain.
And that's why
I
there's-
care
that's
about
the
that.
problem.
Let me wear the
I'm
armband.
pissed. Hey, he's the captain.
Your captain's a fella that's never won a fucking raffle.
The late Steve.
His injury record,
You're
for those
looking at-
talking about it, I've just brought it up here.
Hey,
In 23-24, he missed
He's played like
90
30
days
games.
through injury.
Played like 30
But in
games.
22-23, he missed 13 days through injury.
Yeah.
So, you know, this last season was a bit of a bad one, but prior to that, it wasn't too bad. And the
Sounds
injuries that he
understandable.
had weren't major injuries.
I mean, on the Ligt, yeah, he played 30 games last season, all comps, 43 the season before, 42 the season before, 36 the season before, 39 the season before, 55 the season before, going back to his Ajax days. It's not horrendous. Like, it's not brilliant, but it's all right.
24, he's played 324 games.
Exactly. It's not like he's mad injury prone, because he wouldn't have got anywhere near that. I know he started early, but still.
I think that's more than Martial managed in 10 years at United.
It might well be.
That's fucking uncalled for, that.
Like me.
After what we just said about Harry Kane.
One of them ain't a
All
loser.
right, sorry, you.
One of them ain't a loser.
What?
One of them's got trophies, baby.
That's
One of them, when his team need him to score,
Where's he going, by the
fucking
way?
sticks it in on your bag. We're sorting that out.
We're sorting that out. We're in discussions.
Martial and David De Gea.
I'm on the
Got your
go
heads
to a
together.
few
What's he
people.
doing, David De Gea? Is he still
Nothing.
just chilling around
No,
Oxford?
there was nothing. He's
I might be involved in a big transfer this summer, you know.
Really?
You already know.
I know, but I'm pretending I don't.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
Could happen, man.
Say it
I'm
then.
not going to say it.
No, it's
Well,
big in the game now.
give us a clue.
I'm pulling strings, bruv.
He is. Yeah.
That's it.
Me and him are splitting the money.
Pulling strings. Who are you,
I'm gonna help him.
Geppetto?
I'm
What do you
gonna
mean
be
you're
his PA
pulling
for him.
strings?
Pulling them strings, bro.
Is it a football? You're
A
genuinely
genuine footballer.
Genuinely, he's
I
getting a
put him
move
in
for a
touch
footballer.
with someone. Could be happening.
Stephen Howson, Paddock.
know the manager. Since he's up at Wavy Club.
Yeah, there you go.
I could bring him a professional player and he'd play fucking hard to get.
Yeah,
Ronaldo's playing this season.
all right.
It's all right, mate.
Can we talk about Joshua Zirkzee, by the way? Is anyone else massively worried about the quality of this guy? Am I the only one who
Everything
thinks
about you so
15 goals in 37
just
appearances?
What do I
75
got?
mil on-
You don't
or 80 mil,
even know
whatever it
what
was.
you
How much do we pay
got.
for Holland? Loads of cash.
72, 70, no, 74.
Rate load of cash
Yeah.
on Holland last summer. So you
the
can't just
official
sign
figure,
another striker for a
reload.
rate load of cash this summer. You got to try and get one with the little yellow sticker on him and that.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love
But
that.
is it like with it being two younger strikers? I don't mind, by the way, but do you think it could be an issue in terms of developing them? And at one point, you're
Yes,
going to have to
let's get
decide
all
which
that.
one's the guy.
Facts.
No, I think Zirkzee knows if he comes to United, he's second fiddle to Hoyland. I mean, the kid's warming the bench when Weghorst is getting on the pitch, so I don't think he's that guy, is he? He's not coming in to start for Manchester United. 11 goals in Serie A last season. What is he, 23?
Yeah.
He's not a kid. Like, he looks like a good backup to me. I don't know loads about him, but I think that's what his role will be, backup to Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah.
My only question is he good enough if Højlund gets injured?
I do think as well, you look at what happened with Martial, and I don't blame Cavani for this, but it's not a coincidence to me that we brought in Cavani as this older player who
Yeah.
still had enough in the tank to be better than a young Martial was.
Yeah.
Martial got dropped out of the team and never got back in it.
No.
Because
I don't think Martial and Cavani was the thing. It was Cavani and Ronaldo. It was a problem.
but Martial had
Cavani
just scored,
started it, yeah,
had just
and then
scored
Ronaldo
20 odd
comes in,
goals,
yeah.
and then Cavani comes in and Martial's not the starting striker for
Yeah.
United ever again. I do think you can get in a backup that's too experienced, too big wages, too good almost, and your promising young strikers development is cut in half. And obviously Martial's injuries played a big part and other things as well.
And argue the biggest.
I would argue the biggest part as well, but it can happen where, actually, Cavani's probably better than Martial. Let's play him instead. And Martial, one thing leads to another. And
How
he's
many left
out of the
wingers
club.
did we sign in front of Marcus Rashford?
Well, there's Sanchez, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Who else?
If you say left wing or striker, how many left wing or strikers did we sign?
Alright, Lukaku.
during the time? Well, Martial was here when he was in the academy and he still managed to get a debut.
Yeah.
So he's had Martial, he's had Lukaku, he's had Sanchez, Sancho to a certain
Zlatan
lesser
came in after
degree,
him.
Zlatan. Like, you think about all the amount of people like you've signed. Did it harm Marcus Rashford's? The cream's going to rise. I think it's better to have the competition and see which one works.
So do you think we should be going for someone more established than Joshua Zirkzee to put more pressure on Højlund?
Well, the club policy is clearly under 25 only, so you're not really necessarily going to get that.
I don't
wouldn't
think we've
mind
got the dough
Tony.
for it either.
I wouldn't
Pardon?
mind Tony.
I don't think we've got the dough for it.
Right.
If you a goal scorer, an established goal scorer who could come straight into the Manchester United first team, is going to cost you 70, 80 million.
Well, but unless it's a Cavani situation
Yeah,
where
oh, right,
he was on
yeah.
a free.
Also, if you get a right
they're
winger
older.
that's scoring and you get Rashford back in form, there's less pressure on those.
Yeah,
two.
that's a problem as well because
Because if Rashford scores 30 goals,
season.
we lost 20 goals off Rashford last season. You know, he should be back up there towards 25
I mean, we
goals.
got away with Weghorst scoring no Premier League goals the season before because Marcus stepped up, Bruno as well to a certain degree. The trouble we've had is just when Marcus stopped scoring, Højlund went through that mad barren spell.
Yeah.
It was difficult. So yeah, hopefully if those players step up, you can afford to have someone like Zirkzee coming in and playing like one every 3 games or whatever and just contributing that way. My only question is he good enough if Højlund gets an injury to say play 10 games on the spin or whatever? And I
that's my
don't know if I'm being brutally honest. I think we'll find out when he gets there. We're going to wrap it up there. Thank you, Mr. Howson. I look forward to hearing more tales of you chilling with Robbie Williams, whatever you're up to next week.
Robbie Williams watches Paddock, you know.
He does. He's a big fan.
Genuine.
He is. He said it on another podcast. Thank you, Mr. Adam McCullough. See you soon.
Thanks, son.
Thank you, Mr. Joe Smith.
Thank you.
What videos we've got coming up? We and you've done a video.
This whole new structure we've got, we've broken down every single piece of it, how it all lines up, how it fits together, because it's a bit confusing. Every other week we've got 2 new people coming in.
Yeah.
We've broken it down for you.
Right, so go and check that out. Make sure, if you're not doing already, check out all these guys on their other channels and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. That's been Stephen Howson, that's been Adam McCullough, that's been Joe Smith, I've been Jay Moy. This has been Off the Bar. Thanks for watching.